If you want to succeed, stop watching others and start facing yourself. The person staring back at you in the mirror is either your greatest strength or your biggest setback. Be crystal clear about what you want. Vague intentions bring vague outcomes. Define your mission with precision, and once it's locked in, go all in. Burn your fallback plan. Make quitting an impossible option. Don't wait for backup. Don't chase validation. Don't sit around hoping for a lucky break. You're not here to be carried. You're here to dominate. The strongest individuals forge themselves in silence, in sweat, in the grind. Discipline is your weapon. Focus is your armor. Cut through distractions. Protect your vision while others scroll away their lives. You grind while they gossip. You execute while they doubt. You believe while they laugh. Let their doubt become your drive. The moment you start working like no one's watching, the world can't help but notice. Success isn't for the passive. It's not for those who are merely interested. It's for those who are obsessed, relentless, unwavering. Those who trade comfort for greatness. Work on yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Your mindset, your routines, your choices. These are the blueprints of your destiny. So grind quietly, win privately, stay locked on your goal, and trust the process. Push beyond your limit, then go further. No one else can do this for you. No one else has to. Only you must. Move forward. No hesitation. If you lack direction, the world will assign you one. You'll drift, scatter your energy, chase meaningless tasks. But the moment you commit, with total clarity, every action becomes power. Every breath becomes purpose. Each day becomes a battle against your weaker self, a vow to your future. You can't build something extraordinary with a blurry plan. Success demands exactness. You must say with conviction, "This is what I want. I will claim it, and I won't stop until I do." That's the spark. That's when momentum kicks in, not a second before. Once your goal is locked in, everything else becomes noise. The gossip, the doubts, the judgment from people who've achieved nothing, they all fade, because purpose roars louder than doubt. Purpose kills hesitation. Purpose reprograms your mind to see nothing but forward, even when it's uphill, in the dark, with no applause. You don't need cheering. You need movement. You need action. You need to become so dialed in on growth that the world steps aside and watches. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you. That's weakness. You want strength. Believe in yourself so intensely it makes others uncomfortable. Want to win? Then act like it. Stop wishing. Start doing. No shortcuts. No tricks. Just pure, focused effort. The difference between the average and the elite isn't talent. It's focus. It's refusing to be distracted, refusing to crack under pressure, refusing to waste time on bitterness and comparison. Do you think winners care what others are doing? No, they're locked in, too driven to look sideways. You need to embrace solitude. Get comfortable being alone with your purpose, because that's where the real work gets done. You sculpt your body in solitude. You forge your mind in solitude. You build your legacy brick by brick, while others party, sleep, or scroll through lives they'll never live. That's the price. That's the grind. And if you're not willing to pay, don't expect the reward. Want greatness? Then move like it. Wake up earlier. Stay up later. Cut the excuses. Stop blaming your situation. Life is tough. Good. That's where growth happens. That's where warriors are made. While the weak complain, the strong adapt. While the lazy wait for inspiration, the hungry show up anyway. You don't need ideal conditions. You don't need perfect timing. You need one thing: work. Obsessive, unrelenting, laser-sharp work. Every single day, week after week, year after year. Your results reflect your discipline. Your life reflects your focus. You won't rise to your goals. You'll fall to your habits. And your habits are either pushing you forward or pulling you under. Decide. Choose the pain of growth over the ease of comfort. Choose effort over apathy. Choose building over blaming, because every time you choose discipline over distraction, you move closer. Every time you say no to the meaningless, you say yes to your destiny. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be fast, but it will be worth it. Every drop of sweat, every late night, every sacrifice others can't comprehend. That's the price of excellence. That's the cost of greatness. You pay now so you never beg later. You grind now so you can rise on your terms, not theirs. You suffer now so you can lead when others fall. Forget their opinions. Forget the doubt. Forget the setbacks. If it knocks you down, rise harder. If they underestimate you, stay silent. Let your results do the talking. If you've lost time, reclaim it. Double your effort. This is not a game. This is your life. Every minute spent wishing, comparing, hesitating, that's time stolen from your rise. So go all in. Focus on yourself. Cut out the noise. Work like your future is watching. Because it is, and it's waiting for you to rise. You are all you've got, and that's more than enough. Until you accept that no one's coming to save you, you'll never rise. Stop waiting for direction. Stop leaning on shaky support from others' approval or resources. You're not here to follow. You're here to lead. Everything you're searching for already lives inside you. The grit, the fire, the discipline. It's all there, but until you choose to stand alone, you'll never see your true strength. No one owes you anything. Not praise, not help, not a second chance. The moment you stop expecting, stop asking, and start acting, everything shifts. Depending on others for success is like gambling your future. You're placing your destiny in hands that don't care, won't show up and have their own battles to fight. If you want it, go get it. If you want to lead, walk alone. If you want to rise, it starts with accountability, not blame. Self-reliance isn't arrogance. It's ownership. You own your mind. You own your time, your attitude, your actions, your outcome. Want discipline? Build it. Want respect? Earn it. Want change? Then change your hours, your thoughts, your effort. The second you stop needing a crowd to move, you become a force. The second you stop needing approval to win, you become unstoppable. That's the shift. That's where power is born. In silence, in solitude, in those quiet moments when you stop begging and start building. No one sees what you see. That's why it's your vision. Stop explaining. Stop defending. Let them laugh. Let them talk. Let them doubt. While they do, you work. While they post, you train. While they flex, you prepare. And when the results come, let them wonder how you did it alone. Let them ask where the strength came from. Let them realize they wasted their time watching instead of building. You'll be tested. You'll feel alone. You'll wonder if it's worth it. Good. That's the filter. That's the gate between the ordinary and the elite. Most can't handle silence, can't face themselves, can't carry responsibility. They blame. They deflect. They retreat. You don't. You rise. You take the fire and fuel up. You take the pain and transform it. You take solitude and grow through it. You weren't built to be soft. You weren't meant to be carried. You are the engine, the fuel, the driver. So drive. Get ruthless about your time. Get laser sharp with your habits. Get obsessed with progress. Don't wait for motivation. It's not coming. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It won't show. Just go. Keep going. Every day. No applause. No spotlight. No need to be seen. Because true strength doesn't beg for attention. True power works in the dark and let success be the spotlight. The strongest don't look strong. They just keep showing up. They build when others break. They create when others complain. They fight in silence and win when no one saw it coming. They didn't wait for help. They didn't cry about what they lacked. They started with nothing and built something. That's the level you need. No excuses, no backup, just raw focus and a full bet on yourself. You don't need more people. You need more belief. You don't need praise. You need execution. You don't need a team. You need a reason. And once you have that reason, once you know why quitting is not an option, no obstacle can stop you. Failure only exists for those who quit. And when you rely on no one but yourself, you don't quit. You adapt. You evolve. You get tougher, sharper, unbreakable. So stop stalling. Stop waiting. Stop depending. Kill the excuses. Silence the noise. Leave comfort behind. Replace it with hunger. Replace it with grit. Replace it with the quiet resolve to rise. Whether or not anyone sees it, that's what greatness asks of you. That's what your future deserves. That's what you were made for. Most people want it until it hurts, but the ones who rise, grind through the pain. That's the difference. That's the truth. Persistence isn't talent. It's not luck. It's not timing. It's a decision, a ruthless, daily decision to move forward. No matter how many hits you take, no matter how long it takes, no matter how tired you are. Legacy builders don't quit when it's boring, when it's lonely, when it looks like nothing's working. They show up anyway. They don't need a crowd. They don't need conditions to be perfect. They need one thing: progress. That's the level. That's the standard. Hard work isn't a moment. It's a mindset. It's not what you do when you feel good. It's what you do when you don't. Discipline is when you show up with fire. Whether they cheer for you or spit in your face, that's when it matters. When no one's watching, when no one cares, when it's cold, quiet, and isolating. That's where the relentless are made. That's where champions are born in the shadows, and later seen by the world. Everyone says they want to win until they're faced with the price. The discipline, the exhaustion, the sacrifices it demands. If you're aiming to be unbreakable, stop searching for comfort. Stop hoping for hacks. Stop acting like it shouldn't be difficult. It's meant to be. That's why most people fall off. That's why only a few reach the peak. Greatness isn't accidental. You don't stumble into elite. You don't rise by sticking to what's easy. You get there by grinding daily, by doing the reps, by going through levels of effort that would crush the ordinary. But you're not ordinary. You don't need rest handed to you. You don't want sympathy. You want progress. You want results. You want to give everything for what you believe in. Because if you're not ready to go all out, don't expect it all to come back. Don't expect your dream to show up if you're only half invested. Don't expect excellence if you're not pouring in the hours. Every massive result is built on relentless effort. Not once, not occasionally, but over and over again. When it collapses, when nothing seems to move, that's when you lean in harder. That's when you go all in. That's when you stop checking your emotions and start honoring your commitment. Your goals don't care about your mood. Your potential doesn't respond to how rough today was. It responds to work. And if you haven't hit the mark yet, it's not because you can't. It's because the problem still needs to be outworked. You haven't shown the world how far you're willing to go. You think it's supposed to be fair. You think you'll see the reward immediately. You won't. Not when it counts. Sometimes you'll give your all and feel like nothing's changing. That's the test. And most people fail right there. They back off. They retreat. They slow down because they expected fast returns. But not you. You don't flinch. You go harder. You don't search for signs it's working. You become the proof, through sweat, through strain, through a drive so intense that even your setbacks move you forward. Hard work isn't a moment. It's a mindset. If you're serious, you don't dabble. You dedicate. You don't wish. You execute. You raise the standard every single day. You turn wasted hours into productive ones. You don't run from failure. You meet it head on. You don't stop at resistance. You shift gears. That's the separation. Not background, not talent, just ruthless consistency. You keep showing up when it's dull. You show up when it's painful. You show up when it looks pointless. Because you know what others don't. The work always works. Just not always right away. So don't stop. Keep going. Keep creating. Keep fighting when everything in you says to quit. Persistence reshapes reality. It bends what's possible. It crashes through doors that stay locked for everyone else. But only if you keep pushing. Only if you keep rising. Only if you refuse to fold even when the evidence tells you to. That's how winners think. That's how leaders operate. They don't ask for lighter burdens. They build stronger backs. Every second you spend wishing it was easier, you could have spent getting stronger. Every minute avoiding the hard puts you one step behind. So claim the work, claim the discomfort, claim the pressure. Keep driving forward, even if your legs tremble and your eyes blur. Because that's the gap between those who talk and those who finish. That's the edge between the average and the unstoppable. You cross that line through unseen effort. But everyone feels it when you arrive. The loudest voices are usually from those who've done the least. Think about that. The critics, the skeptics, the ones saying slow down or be realistic. They've never carried the weight. They've never stood in the dark and kept walking. They've never chased a dream worth bleeding for. And they never will. So don't listen. Tune it out. If you let that noise in, it'll poison your focus. It'll rob you of ambition. It'll convince you to settle. And you weren't built for that. You don't owe explanations to people who've never dared to build. You don't need to share your vision with those too scared to chase their own. The world is full of noise. Everyone's talking. Everyone's posting. But very few are building. If you want to win, get quiet. Get so locked in that you forget the noise exists. The moment you stop chasing approval is the moment the world starts watching. You don't need to be liked. You need to be legendary. People will mock what they don't understand. They'll question your growth because it forces them to confront their own stagnation. So let them talk. Let them judge. Their words don't define you unless you let them. The real danger isn't the noise. It's your reaction to it. Train yourself to walk past the barking without flinching. No one who's truly building is wasting time tearing others down. Let the doubters doubt. You're working. Distractions are everywhere. Empty noise. Meaningless. Urgency. People craving your attention without earning your time. It's not just noise. It's theft. It's stealing your future. Every time you care about their opinions, you lose sight of your own. Every moment you aim to look successful instead of be successful, you give up power. But you weren't made to blend in. You were made to lock in, to break barriers, to crush ceilings. You don't need constant updates. You need stillness. You need silence. You need war mode focus where nothing exists but the mission. Silence is a weapon. Clarity is a weapon. Most never win because they're too distracted to even define what winning means to them. They chase claps. They chase likes. They chase status. But none of that builds legacy. None of that delivers impact. That only comes from direction and a refusal to look sideways. If they haven't done what you're trying to do, their opinion holds zero weight. You wouldn't take advice from someone who quit. So why would you listen now? You don't need validation from people who never had the guts to try. Let them misunderstand you. Let them question you. Let them talk. You're not here to be understood. You're here to build. You're here to rise. You're here to outlast every single limit thrown your way. The day you stop seeking consensus is the day you tap into real power. Not everyone will cheer. Not everyone will support you. And that's fine. You don't need an audience. You need allegiance to your own mission. Focus is your edge in a world that's lost its attention span. Most are chasing noise. The few, the focused, they're stacking wins in silence. That's where the game is won. Don't argue. Don't explain. Don't announce. Just work. Just improve. Just execute. Let your results drown out their doubt. Let your consistency speak louder than their opinions. Let your rise leave them speechless. You don't owe them responses. You owe them nothing. Your silence is your power. Your focus is your advantage. Let them speculate. You're too busy building. Let them doubt. You're too locked in. Because noise can't stop someone who's already decided that no matter what, it's getting done. You act with purpose. You think intentionally. You don't just take in everything. You choose. You filter what enters your mind. You decide what deserves your focus and what gets shut out. That's discipline. That's the standard. Because an undisciplined mind breaks easily, but a trained mind, it becomes unstoppable, resilient, laser-focused, lethal. Every breakthrough starts with deciding to elevate your thinking. Every change begins the moment you refuse to let emotional chaos hijack your focus. Control your thoughts, and you control your feelings. Control your feelings, and you control your actions. control your actions, and you control your results. It all begins with what you think when no one else is watching. It happens in the quiet, under pressure, amidst doubt. That's where you either crumble or forge ahead. That's where your future is won or lost. Not in grand moments, but in small, daily choices about what dominates your mind. Here's the truth. You will never rise above the level of your thoughts, so train them, discipline, work them like you do your body, every day, without fail. No cutting corners, no slack. Fill your mind with truth, with strength. Build belief systems that push you toward the level you want. That's how you create unbreakable clarity. That's how you build mental armor. That's how you stop reacting and start leading. It's not about thinking positively. It's about thinking powerfully, strategically, with precision. Thought that drives action. Action that delivers results. Nothing changes until your mind does. No amount of hustle or grind will change your life if your mindset is broken. You have to align it. You have to train it. You have to discipline yourself to think like a builder, a winner, a leader. That means cutting out fear, doubt, laziness, and self-pity. When those thoughts arise, don't entertain them, crush them, replace them. Choose strength every single time. Weakness starts in the mind, and so does power. You don't need to be smarter. You need to be sharper. You don't need more motivation. You need mental discipline. You don't need a new plan. You need to stop letting your thoughts pull you off the path you've already chosen. Master your mind, and you'll master your mission. That's how you stay locked in. That's how you stay dangerous. That's how you become untouchable. Not because life gets easier, but because your mind grows stronger. Not because obstacles disappear, but because your thoughts refuse to be shaken. When your mind is steel, everything else bends. Faith without action is just fiction. If you believe, then you move. If you're convinced, you act. It's that simple. You don't wait for perfect conditions, proof, or the path to light up. You take the first step, then another, and then another, no matter how dark it feels, because that's what real faith looks like. It's not about wishing or hoping. It's about stepping forward without guarantees, only the one you create with relentless effort. You say you believe in your vision, then show it. Back it with sweat. Prove it with execution. Faith doesn't shout. It shows up quietly and builds. Most people say they believe, but their actions tell a different story. They talk big, but move like they're unsure. They claim to be all in but keep a backup plan ready. That's not faith. That's fear, wearing a disguise. Faith is shutting the door on retreat and lighting a fire that says, "I'll make this work or die trying." Belief alone won't build anything. Belief is the fuel. Action is the engine. You don't get results by dreaming or imagining. You get them by matching your behavior with your vision, ruthlessly, relentlessly, consistently. That means working when it's hard. That means showing up when no one applauds. That means staying focused when it seems like nothing's changing. That's the space where faith separates from fantasy, where winners are made. Faith without action is noise, empty and cheap. Anyone can claim belief. Only the disciplined, the obsessed, the ones willing to bleed for their vision, bring it to life. You don't wait for your time. You create it. You decide this is it, then live like it. If you don't have the courage to back your faith with unshakable action, it's not belief, it's a wish, and wishes don't win. Work wins. Movement wins. Ruthless commitment wins. If you're serious, you don't wait for motivation or perfect energy. You don't wait for ideal conditions. You decide, then act like it's already yours. That's the difference. That's how people rise from nothing. They see the future so clearly that the present can't hold them back. They don't care how things look now. They care what they'll become. They speak it, walk it, live it, before anyone else sees it. That's the faith that moves mountains. the faith that builds empires. But here's the truth. It's going to feel like it's not working. It's going to feel slow. It's going to feel lonely. That's the pressure that either breaks you or makes you. You'll question everything. You'll face silence. You'll fight self-doubt. But if your actions come from belief, you keep showing up, keep building, keep pushing through resistance that would crush most. That's the power of faith. Backed by grind, you're not just hoping, you're proving. You're earning. You're building your outcome. People will try to talk you out of your path. They'll question your pace. They'll say it's unrealistic. But faith with action doesn't ask permission. It doesn't wait for applause or understanding. It just works, quietly and consistently. It doesn't get distracted by noise, setbacks, or small minds. It keeps going because it knows where it's headed. It trusts the process. It respects the work. It holds the vision even when everything else shakes. That's what separates leaders from followers, builders from talkers, the rare from the ordinary. Every step you take sends a message, not to others, but to yourself. You prove you're not just interested in your vision, you're committed. You prove your belief is real. You build proof, brick by brick, rep by rep, day by day, and that proof stacks, compounds, and turns faith into results. Then the same people who ignored you ask how you did it. The answer? You moved before you had it. You built before you saw it. You acted like it was yours until it was. There's no magic, no secret, only belief followed by behavior. Behavior is what the world responds to. You can shout your goals all you want, but if your habits don't match your ambition, the world won't move. The universe doesn't respond to noise. It responds to energy, consistency, and action that fits the size of your dreams. If you want something massive, your actions must match that scale. So don't just talk about faith. Live it. Move with it. Build with it. Let your work shout your belief so loudly, your results can't be ignored. Let every day be a statement. Let every rep, every hour, every sacrifice say, I believe, and I'm proving it. Because in the end, talk fades, noise fades, results stay, and results only come to those with enough faith to keep moving when nothing else makes sense. The world owes you nothing. No one's coming to save you. No one's handing you your dream. You get what you earn, what you build, and the only way to build something lasting is to turn inward, lock in, and outwork every excuse, every distraction, every weakness that tries to pull you off course. You don't need applause. You don't need comfort. You don't need permission. You need hunger, fire, a relentless mindset that wakes up every day with one mission: improve, execute, dominate. This isn't about talent or luck. It's about discipline, faith, vision, and execution. It's about showing up when no one else will, believing when no one else does, grinding when everyone else gets comfortable. If you want a life most don't, you have to do what most won't. Cut the noise, kill the excuses, to focus on yourself. Work hard, lock in, stay dangerous, stay obsessed, because when it's all said and done, the difference between average and unstoppable is this: one kept talking, the other kept building. Be the one who builds, be the one who finishes, be the one they remember.